So here's everything you're asking about ginger. This is a shop bought piece of ginger. From this you can create your own ginger plants and you will never have to buy ginger again. From shop bought ginger you can plant parts, which I will show you, and you will never have to buy ginger again. But first let's show you how to prepare ginger. You can eat the skin, but I would advise you to not eat the skin, only for the fact that a lot of countries shop bought ginger actually contains a spray to stop it sprouting and preserves it. This piece of ginger will last a month or more, but as soon as you break a bit off and you open the ginger to the elements, you must then put it in a plastic bag, and the plastic bag will then seal these parts. Some people like to dry the part off first, but that's not necessary. Ginger can be used for just about anything. You can actually preserve it in many different ways, but eaten fresh, you can have it in soups, salads, stews, just about anything and everything you choose. Of course, we all know gingerbread, ginger cake, ginger nuts, ginger biscuits, ginger cookies, and so on and so forth. And of course, in many drinks and smoothies. So I'll show you how you can prepare the ginger. First of all, cut off, or you can just pull off, any size piece that you want. So now I've done that, I've opened it up, so this will now have to be refrigerated. You can freeze ginger. Now instead of peeling it with a peeler, which of course you can do, it's better to use a teaspoon, because peeling it otherwise you would break off all these knobbly bits. Whereas with a spoon you can go round all these knobbly parts. So you just get a teaspoon and just peel back the skin of your ginger. Only do as much as you need for whatever you're making, or you could do some and then save it for later. Once you've done your piece of ginger, you can dice it into tiny pieces or thin slices, or however you like to eat your ginger. If you want to grow your ginger, break off bigger bits are best, so break it into as many parts as you like. That's probably the smallest size you want. You could try with the smaller parts, but they won't really grow so well. And then you're going to lay them on the top of a large pot and then just sprinkle some soil over the top. So they're just laying there. There's no particular way up to put them. They will find their way. But don't worry if you go months and see nothing. Depending on your area, you will find that some ginger takes months, many months, before it shows. It will be growing underneath. And it grows like a grassy leaf plant, very tall. Ginger planted. Just laid them in the top. They don't have to go any special way up. Just lay them and put a small amount of soil sprinkled on top, so they're not deeply planted. And then water. Don't let them get sodden, but keep them lightly watered. Obviously the first time I've put a lot of water in because it was dry soil. How do you know when you can eat your ginger? think like potatoes, this is growing underneath and forming more. So you will do the same as potatoes. When you see the growth dying back slightly, that is the time to cut them off, and you to bring them up like potato, and you'll see big versions of these all clustered together, and that is your new ginger. It needs to be kept moist but not flooded. So you don't want to flood your ginger, but you do need to keep it moist. It likes sun, but again, keep it moist. So try it in your area and see if you can grow ginger. This is preserved or dried ginger, and you just eat it like sweets. It's good for your digestion, so have a piece or two after a heavy meal. You may find it tastes quite sharp and aftertaste if you're not used to it, but do persevere, and if you do put it in tiny pieces, the normal ginger in your cooking, you barely will actually taste it. So if you don't like the sharpness of it like this, then try that. It will just add a flavour rather than the hot taste you get with pieces like this. You can buy already cut ginger in the shop, shredded, chips of ginger, flakes of ginger, so on and so forth. I recommend you don't buy these, apart from the cost of them in relation to buying a big bit of ginger that lasts and doesn't go bad. You'll also find that it's not the best ginger, it's been shipped and preserved. So a big bit of ginger from the shop is your best option. So when you buy ginger like this, how do you know a good piece of ginger? Well, give it a little squeeze. It shouldn't be soft in any form. You want a nice hard piece of ginger, and that is how you know it's fresh. As I say, do take the skin off if you're buying from a supermarket, because you don't know what preserve has been put on the top. So at least wash it. But of course, if you're peeling it anyway, you don't need to worry about that. So let me know in the comments below, if you do grow ginger, why not add it to your collection of growing if you don't? It needs very little care, and if you don't like it so much, I'm sure plenty of your friends will enjoy some ginger from you, whether you use it to make cakes and cookies for them or just as a gift for them to start growing their own ginger. So why not grow some ginger today? Add it to your garden. It's so easy to grow. Let me know in the comments if you do grow it, if you have any tips for anyone else, and also if you have links to recipes using ginger.